All right, so we're gonna backtest here. The biggest thing I'm trying to focus on right now, well, number one, let me just fix this. Number one, I took one loss this week, one trade, one loss, just like last week. This week really was like there wasn't. I only literally had 2 days out of the 5 to trade because Monday was a bank holiday, and then you had NFP on Friday, so I can't trade past Wednesday morning on NFP weeks. So I literally had Tuesday and Wednesday morning to trade. Tuesday, nothing for me. Wednesday, took a trade, took a loss, so I'm going to backtest an hour because of that loss. That's how my rules go. I have to backtest an hour per loss at a bare minimum. But what I really want to focus today on when I'm backtesting, I want to focus on finding that intraday draw on liquidity. We're really trying to hone in on getting the hang of finding where I want to see price go, because I can easily identify my model. That's not hard for me to do at this point. My mod, like I easily know, okay, here's my model, boom, bang, all right, entry, cool. But I'm trying to get the hang of finding where price is going to go for that day. What is the daily candle going to do? So that's what I want to get a hang of. So that's what we're gonna be trying to look for here when we're backtesting. So we'll start on the weekly. Actually, I just want to see what day of the week we're on. So it's Tuesday. Okay. Let me go back to the weekly here. So on the weekly, actually, start on the monthly just because we're okay. So my first impression on the monthly is we set liquidity. I like us going higher at this point. We also, I mean, this is the trading range here. We've repriced that trading range now fully. Gone beyond the equilibrium at this point. Tapped into monthly fair value gap, swept liquidity. So I'm bullish on the monthly. Weekly, still bearish order flow, right? Or maybe, yeah, no, still bearish order flow. I don't know why I second guessed myself there. But yeah, we broke structure and we haven't rebroke structure to the upside, so still bearish order flow. I don't love these equal lows underneath here. I really don't like that, right? The daily order flow is bullish. We're inside of this fair value gap here. This will be a draw if we can break and close above this fair value gap. Until then, it's tougher to be bullish because we're inside that right now. I don't see like a potential, if price were going to drop today, I don't see where it would drop to on the daily. If I go to the 4 hour, maybe it'll give me a better perspective of, I mean, it could target some liquidity, right? We have like higher low, but as far as like if there's a fair value gap or, you know, equal lows, no. So to me, I mean, again, I'm bullish on the monthly. Weekly, we did break above this fair value gap. On the weekly, there's nothing else to come for except for this, or because we are in a bit of a range here, we could end up coming for these lows, these equal lows. Now, because I'm bullish on the monthly, I would say we're more likely to come for this. So that's where my head's at right now. So even though we're inside of this daily bearish fair value gap, I'm still bullish on the day here. However, we did already take out previous daily high, right? Because I'm looking to see where this could draw to too, and we already took out the previous daily high. I would probably just leave this day alone because, oh, actually, wait, I think I already, okay, hang on. Next day open. But this too, right? Okay, cool. Already broke past the previous daily high. So that is like an easy draw on liquidity if, you know, let's say we're bullish, which we are. So that makes it a bit harder now because we don't really have a nice, quick, easy draw. How about consequent encroachment of this wick? It's a bit of a higher time frame draw though, if I'm being honest. Alright, so the first step, find where price is reaching for. Well, if I go to the daily here, it's hard for me to say. I mean, until we close above this, it's hard for me to say what price is reaching for. When we break above this, then I know price is reaching for this. I would say though, price is, if I'm bullish, reaching for that currently. That'll be my take on it. So I am bullish. I have my draw. Wait for opposing liquidity to get swept, and then enter off of a fair value gap. I just have this up here again. I know how to find my model. I've backtested this many hours, but I have this up here just as a reminder that seriously, it's not that complicated. Don't overcomplicate that shit. You know, be a robot. And yeah, so do I see opposing liquid? And it's also beneficial maybe to anyone watching that isn't too familiar with the 2022 model. So I have my draw now. That's where I think price is going to go. Okay. Notice how I say think, because I'm not a fucking time traveler. I don't know for certain, but that is based off of my analysis in the higher time frames. That's what I think we're going to be headed towards. That would be an easy draw. So, but now I got to find opposing liquidity to get swept. So I need something below, or you know, I need something to get swept. But it doesn't look like it's going to give me that. Maybe on the 5 minute. I mean, we'll go to the 1 minute just for shits and giggles, but boop. Alright, we did sweep liquidity there in the 1 minute. I like that. Now, I don't normally enter off of 1 minute. 1 minute setups, like my model being present on the 1 minute, I don't normally enter off of them. But does this fit my criteria here? Well, the only thing it doesn't fit is that we're not inside of a higher time frame PD array as we're looking for our model here. So I will pass on this, but now is it? I don't think so, no. The low of this was 11,680. Yeah, same thing, okay. Okay, now we're in a higher time frame. Fair value gap, which would be this 5 minute. I just need distribution to the upside. I didn't notice that, hang on. Replay to here, because I just didn't notice this. I'm gonna enter in off this inversion fair value gap here. Boom. Nice trade. Almost got stopped out. Luckily, that is how I would normally put my stop loss, would be underneath the low, right? In this case, even with this inversion fair value gap, using that as if I'm putting my stop loss underneath that, well, it's still underneath the low here, so solid trade. Yeah, okay, on to the next day. I should not have hit next day open when I'm on the 1 minute chart. That would take a minute. There. Let's just go to the daily time frame here. Okay, so we are respecting this daily fair value gap at the moment, and we did break structure yesterday with that close. So as much as I was bullish on the monthly, on the weekly and the daily, we're definitely bearish right now. What are we reaching for is the question. This is the current trading range here. And honestly, I could not tell you what we're reaching for because there is not a singular good fair value gap here. I would say that this, let me just see something here quick. Okay, I would say that this is a prominent low that we could come for if we're bearish, but we don't necessarily have any fair value gaps that we can, aside from wanting to reprice into equilibrium and potentially take that low, there's not much of a target to the downside here, but I am bearish, so so we need opposing liquidity to get swept. Now just take note of the fact that we are overextended here. All right, this is the trading range on the 4 hour. So clearly we're in a deep discount here on the 4 hour. Now it's not to say that we don't continue going lower. It's just something to be aware of, especially if we're going to enter in off of like a lower time frame. The 15 minute does a nice job actually here of sweeping liquidity. Entering into a 1 hour fair value gap, which is good to see. So that's our time frame PD array. This is also a target then. Also previous daily low, no, we've taken that already, okay. So we're getting opposing liquidity swept right now. We're trading inside of a 1 hour fair value gap. I have everything I need, I just need distribution. And I break a structure. Okay, break structure distribution. This is where I can put my entry right now. Okay, that shifts, but I don't know. Now I could do this though, I could do this. at this point, if we come back up to break even, I don't like the odds of this trade playing out. So just because we already swept everything that needs to happen for us to go lower has happened at this point. So cool. Nice winning trade there. Took longer than I would have liked, but go to next day open. Let's go to that. Keep that for right now. Okay. So again, the bias still remains the same. Nothing really changed there. We had a bearish day yesterday again, so we are still bearish currently with that break of structure on the daily, and then yeah. This right here could be something we are reaching for, like an inversion week fair value gap from the weekly, and it's right above equilibrium of the trading range in the daily, so I like that. Also, just take note of this, right? This is a draw, previous daily low. And of course, we could draw up into here first before going there, but I like this to target for a trade. Opposing liquidity has to get taken now. And also, we're not really inside of a higher time frame PD array. However, if we sweep liquidity here, that counts. On a higher time frame, if we sweep liquidity, that counts. Okay. I don't think we did sweep liquidity. Yeah, not really. Not well enough for my liking. This would be something I would avoid, even though it could play out, but it's not an A+ setup. Okay, now we've done what we needed to do as far as sweep liquidity. So if I get distribution, I'm down to, there we go. Bang, bang. This is an easy target now. I know I said this, but I like to go for easy targets. This is an easy target. We could definitely come for this too, and I would readjust if my entry was a little bit lower. I would readjust. But I just like to go for, okay, we get taken out. All good. Let's see if it gives us one more chance at, I love that. This I'm okay with it. No. It just has to chop around. Okay, fair enough. Got the draw on this day wrong, clearly. Well, we'll see. I mean, still got the afternoon session, but it looks like, you know, I don't necessarily know what it bounced off of, to be fair to it. Like, what is price reacting off of here on the daily that it wants to go higher here? I don't really know. I don't see any obvious liquidity that got swept or an obvious fair value gap that we tapped into, so I'm not really sure what it's reacting off of. But it's fair that it wants to come back to equilibrium. I could see that happening, I guess, on the 4 hour. But it seems to be reacting fairly well. All right, well, broke structure to the upside. This becomes a very obvious draw on liquidity at this point. So that's what I'm looking for. I need that sweep first. Look at those equal lows, bro. Just take those equal lows and go higher. That would be so nice. Oh, you're really gonna leave them? What a joke. This is ridiculous. Imagine all the degenerate gamblers here that made money. Oh, I'm gonna get in at 7 at night. Oh, I'm gonna get in at 9 at night. And I'll just put my stop loss right below the low here. Surely they're not gonna take me out. Oh, you would have been right here. Wow. Damn. Alright, fair enough. Okay, well that was the obvious draw that got taken, so it just didn't give us a way to get in. I don't have an obvious draw anymore. I don't know where it's reaching for at this point. I'd like to see this close, and then I know it's reaching for a higher price if it closes above the daily fair value gap. But until it does that, I don't really know what it's reaching for. So I'm going to leave this be. But it certainly looks like it's going to be closing above, so. Okay, this is now a draw. And this is a draw. So that's what we're aiming for. Fairly obvious draws in my opinion. Inside of a 4-hour fair value gap, swept liquidity, equal highs above. 1, 2, 3. That's what I like to see. Now, I don't typically love getting in off of like a 930 fair value gap. However, everything is lining up here for me. But I have to ask myself, so obviously this was the previous daily high. So that's a draw. On the 4-hour here, we're inside of a 4-hour fair value gap. What is something we can draw to that's nearer than this? Because this is something that, I mean, it could get taken. It would just be it would be this high here. That would be nearer to, but this follows all of my rules here. And we haven't closed above that yet. That's okay. Let me see, because this is a 1 to 2, so I can look to take profit, or, take partials at one point, but I don't really see anything. I'll just go for the midpoint then, I guess. Nice. That's a really nice trade. And I'm sure it continues here. Not easily it doesn't, but that is going to be the next draw. See, there you go. We took it, and then we decided to fold. All right, so where do I think it's going to draw to now? Well, I'm just going to mark this. I am still bullish because we broke above this daily bearish fair value gap, broke structure to the upside. I like how we're, repricing the range here. but I'm still bullish, so. I will say this is a fairly obvious draw since those lows were kept. Now it goes against my higher time frame bias, so I'm not going to take it, but I think we can definitely draw into this fair value gap because of that. That's an obvious draw. That is an obvious draw in my opinion. Also, obviously, fair value gap on the daily below this, so. One, two, three. I mean, there needs to be. Yeah. That's a solid trade. Look, I went a bit against my daily bias to take this trade, but what's the name of this? Intraday draw on liquidity before anything else. So I'm focusing on that draw on liquidity before anything else. This was an easy fucking draw for me to be like, yup, I want that. So how do I get it? Well, I'm looking for liquidity to get taken on the opposite side. So where do I get that happening? Well, it happened on the 5 minute, but it's more obvious in the 1 minute here. And then we get our distribution, break a structure, back into the fair value gap, boom. Simple trade. Robotic. Ro-fucking-botic. And then from there we shoot up, which makes total sense because I had a bullish bias. This is the draw here at this point. Where do I think price is gonna go? Consequent encroachment of that wick would be something we can come for. Not currently inside of any higher time frame fair value gap or any other PD array, so yeah, that's our draw though. But we don't really have anything that could get us to there, so looks like probably not going to be taking a trade. This is a draw, but I'm not going to take this, but I'm interested to see if it plays out that way. That's our draw. Oh wait, no, we don't. It is such a stretch to say that we're respecting this because it has wicked it so many times. I guess we are respecting it, but fair enough. There's our higher time frame PD array, if we want to call it that. And then, or you can even go as far as saying this is, because we're entering an offer model in the 1 minute here. So that is, we're inside that, cool. Sweep on liquidity. Now I just need this, and I'm not actually going to enter this one because I don't know how I feel about it, but yeah. Now we get an actual sweep. Now we get an actual sweep, so the trade I'm actually willing to take. Now it is 11:15, getting a little later in the AM session here, but give the trade some breathing room. And make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself here. I'll go to a higher time frame and just see this. Where do I have to find where price is reaching for? Where do I think price is reaching for? I think since we're still bullish, I'm going to go for this rather than reaching in to try to reach equilibrium. I don't think that's the case right now. Swap liquidity, so that's our higher time frame PD array, would be that liquidity sweep on the 1 hour. And you can see it on the 50 minute as well. I like this. Okay, we got taken out. That's fine. You know, my model was there. I would say maybe the draw on liquidity was a little bit rough there. It wasn't too obvious. Wait for a more obvious one. Like I've taken some trades so far that have been so obvious that it wanted to go there. This was a little bit less obvious, I'd say. Although, what do you know, right? It comes for it. It just wanted to take us out first. Fair enough. Do we even get a re-entry, or is it a brick? I can't even tell what color that candle is. I don't know if that's a brick structure. This is though. Whatever, but that was the draw. I was right again. I just, you know, it went without me this time. Stop me out first. It's fine. Shit happens. So where do I think price is reaching for? Previous daily high. Consequent encroachment of the daily wick here. And then eventually this take that weekly high there. But I am bullish, and that's what I think price is reaching for at the moment. So now that I have that, I have to see price get taken or swept on the opposite side of that. So boop, boop. Can we get this, please? Okay, I guess can we get this? Is this the wrong tool? It's the wrong tool, that's why. Where's the right tool? I think it's in like here or something. Where is it? No, it's here. Where's the right tool? Oh, this is gonna annoy me because I know it's somewhere. Oh, path. There we go. That's the right tool. Let's get this line thing out of here. Or arrow. Can we see this? That's what I want to see. Let's see if we can get that. Nope, doesn't matter. Not enough for me, right? I need to see a sweep. We don't get that. If it continues to the draw, it continues to the draw. But I need to see price get swept, which we just don't see. Okay, cool. It hit my draw, and it kept all of those motherfuckers that got in overnight, it kept them in the trade. Fair enough. We've seen it happen before, and then eventually we come for that liquidity too. I'm not going to inverse this, but maybe that's a good setup for an inverse trade. I'm not going to do that again, but definitely don't like how we left those highs or those lows untouched like that. Okay, and then ultimately that is that high that we want. Sweep, this would be the next draw that we're thinking, right? Although you have to understand that price has done its job for the day. It doesn't have to continue this way. So that's something to really take note of there. It's like, is this an A plus setup? Probably not, right? But let's see how it forms here. If we get distribution. There's the distribution. All right, here would be our entry if it can come back down to that point. I'd even go like this. All right, even though I don't necessarily have to, but give the trade some breathing room. All right, well, just doesn't even come back for us, so fair enough. Wait, this might be another. This is another opportunity for an entry. Above that, then I could do that, and then you got yourself a trade here. But that's okay. Oh, all right. Showing some resistance there. So I am bullish, okay? I am bullish still, right? Previous weekly high is right here. Something to aim for now. Or another thing to aim for, I should say. But what makes sense if we were gonna retrace here? What makes sense for us to target? Right? So let's just take note of that, you know? Maybe that gives us an easy draw on liquidity there. Ah, yes, okay. Now we're talking, so those were the lows. Maybe a little repeat of what we got last time, let's see. Sweep. Okay, I technically don't have the higher time frame PD array, but let's see if I go to the 1 minute. So the setup is clear on the 1 minute. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. It looked like a clear draw, right? Starting even on the daily here, right? If we were going to come down all this way, we should probably come for the daily fair value gap, right? So find where price is reaching for. I said daily fair value gap. And then on top of that, what do we have? Well, we have some obvious liquidity here. So this made sense for me, and we took opposing liquidity as well, albeit on a smaller time frame, but still took opposing liquidity. Right, still took it, so maybe we're just waiting for a higher time frame, and then also now we have that PD array that we were talking about that we didn't necessarily have. Okay, well, 0-2 on the day. That's the worst day I could possibly have because I can't lose more than 2 trades in a day. So there you go. There you have it. We're done. And then it goes. Okay. Everyone's experienced that before. Well, I'm glad to see my fucking draw on liquidity was correct. Okay, great. Glad to see that was right. What we were waiting for, I don't necessarily know. Especially, I'll give you the first trade. Okay, the first setup, I didn't have the higher time frame PD array. Fine. I might have pushed that a little bit too hard there. Second entry, perfectly okay. And, you know, would there have been a third entry? I mean, yeah, I would have came here, would have been the greatest. But that's what you're getting here. And then there's your entry, but all right, drawn liquidity was correct. Again, but now that we did that, can we look for buys? Yes, we probably can. But okay, now we respected it. We haven't closed below it. That's weekly high. This is previous daily high. I'm bullish. We fully repriced this trading range here. There is a tiny fair value up there. Well, the opposing draw on liquidity was here, or the opposing liquidity that got swept was there. I don't like getting in before 9:30, so I won't. But I think I like this for a buy, though, to be honest with you. sweep, distribution, into a fair value gap. We have a draw on liquidity. Beautiful. And there you go. All that is back from yesterday. Next day open. Okay, get rid of that. I'll get rid of this. Previous daily high was taken already, but we are bullish still. I'm just gonna find what we're reaching for. That, I mean, obviously, previous weekly high. Is there anything more within reach? Not really. Just that previous daily high. So it could be more of a swing trade I'm not going to take, but, and also is this, oh, there you go. That makes my decision easy. I'm not trading today. I would like to see what this does. I don't know. I like that. Yeah. Well, let's wait though, because we'll get the, there you go. But there's usually a two-part move, with the first part being manipulation. So I'd be interested to see what it does here, because I am bullish and we swept liquidity. Yeah, there you go. Just a continuation. That's what I figured. Okay. But still, that's why you don't trade that shit. It wouldn't even give us an entry. Like, technically, if you take trades like this, where it breaks above, whatever, this, that, cool, but alright, so that's not, FOMC helped us break above this high. So where's the next draw? Where is it? It's right here. Pretty easy, right? Especially if today closes above this fair value gap, but I have to see some opposing liquidity get swept before we can even entertain this. So nope, not inside of a, oh, actually, nope, we're not inside of a higher time fair value gap yet. And we come for that first. That makes my life easy then. Cool, no trade. Don't love getting in on stuff that's overextended. think we've had our distribution. Like we're probably going to have manipulate or not accumulation now, so I don't want to really be involved in something like that. Oh, because blow down. Yeah, fuck that. Look at that. Oh, did we? That's actually nuts. Did we actually? Right after I said we close below. Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't have really given us a nice clean entry anyway. Previous daily high. Although we're very aware of the fact that we could draw into here. Liquidity void / daily fair value gap. Right? So I'm very conscious of that. That would also help us reprice. That to me looks like the draw. We already had a sweep on opposing liquidity. So I'd like to see maybe like it show up here somehow. I don't like this as much anymore. Fuck. Well, because here's the thing, right? Like the draw, the sweep was this, right? And it takes place on the hourly. Right. That was the sweep. And then this was the distribution, and we just haven't been respecting this distribution as nicely as I would have liked. So that's my thing. And now we've created this where I don't like that. Now, looking at this candle, right? I mean, it's easy to be bullish here, it really is, and we've created this after a sweep, so I could see that playing out as well. No entry here though. No entry. I say no entry because I'm not taking anything less than a 1-to-1. I'm not going to do it. 1-to-1 is my cutoff. So we do eventually end up coming for that liquidity, but not how I would have liked to see us come for it. It was a bit more of a choppy day than I would have liked, but it's good to see that we came for that. So now we can proceed higher. Right, order flow is still bullish. Now we're tapping into a daily fair value gap. Looking to maybe, come into here would be a draw, like the liquidity void that's been created. Get rid of this. This is the previous day high. Alright. Sweep on opposing liquidity inside of a higher time PB array. I don't know what to make of this because the sweep on opposing liquidity is on such a high time frame. It's on a 4-hour. And you can see it on the 1 hour as well, where I don't know how to enter for it because I don't want to enter on the 1 minute for a 4-hour sweep on liquidity. Like you know what I mean? Like, So that was drawn liquidity 1 that I wanted to see. I mean, the other draw would again just be the previous daily high, which is a ways away. That's why I'm not necessarily in love with it because it's a ways away. What did I just do though? I think I didn't do anything. Okay. Bullish, we could be reaching for this too. It'd be something I'm willing to get behind. This is very choppy, so. Came in swept liquidity one more time. Nothing much in the 1 minute department. There we go, we finally have something. Bang, and then this is take profit 1 though. If this does get respected, which I think it likely could. Tap us in already, Jesus Christ. take profit 1. We'll take 50% off there. Because that might be all we're getting. Okay, what did we lose on that? Not much, but a little bit. I'm not gonna be able to see. Yeah. Love when it does that. Minus $7. Okay, we'll take it. Yeah. All right. Well, let's just look at this real quick. This is using what? With intraday draw liquidity. Where's that? That's so many. Yeah, it's the top one. Okay. 50% win rate. Sounds about right. That's what my win rate is normally. And in a month's time, we're up 4% essentially. Nice. Alrighty. I like that. I like the, I like using that draw liquidity and kind of putting it at the forefront instead of, there's a lot of times where I'd look at it and be like a lot of times I was doing this and the draw liquidity meant that I was going to be bearish, but the higher time frame was suggesting bullishness. And the draw liquidity, like if it's obvious, it's most likely going to play out. So I like that. We'll continue to, get the hang of that. But yeah.